My daughter absolutely broke my heart this morning by making this picture for me, framing her favourite picture of all time, which is a picture of me and her. She even sleeps with this picture in her bed sometimes. And the reason that really got to me so much is all three of my kids would rather go to their mum than to me on most occasions. So if they've hurt themselves or if they're upset, they'd rather be comforted by mummy than by me. If we're stood next to each other, they'll go to her. Doesn't mean they won't come to me, but if she's there, they'd rather her. Even at story time, when it's my turn, they'll all say, oh, because they'd rather sit on mummy's lap than daddy's. Now, that can feel really hurtful. If you're the parent that is in that position, it can feel really painful because that's not what you want, is it? You want to be the preferred one. There's a lot of kind of ego to that. There's a lot of love and warmth in that. And it feels like, or it can feel like, if you're not the preferred one, you must be doing something wrong and maybe they don't love you as much as they love the other parent. And that's not totally true. It's that they love them in a different way. They have a different relationship. And there's lots of different explanations for that. So I think I'm a good parent and I know they really appreciate a lot of what I bring to them. And this proves it more than anything else. So my explanations for why they might want to go to my wife. A, she's more patient than I am. So she can do puzzles for hours and they all really like doing that. I get restless. I can do a few puzzles and then I want to be up and doing something. So I don't have as much patience with that. So they have shared interests with my wife over what they have with me. That's not true of everything. So my eldest, for example, really loves Harry Potter and I can do the voices. So she likes me to read with her a lot of the time. There's physical games that we'll play that a lot of the time they prefer me to be involved with because I can lift them up higher or I'm more willing to let them do slightly dangerous things, that kind of stuff. Shared interests again. Just happens to be that for my kids, the things they really like doing, my wife is really good at. Maybe that's an explanation for it. Maybe they have a different connection. A connection with their mum is different to the connection with what they had with me. Right from a very early age, it was actually easier for me to put them all down to bed than it was for my wife. And my explanation with that, it was harder for them to say goodbye to her than it was to me. And again, that's not an insult. It's just a different relationship. And it's a useful one. It can feel like you have to change, like, oh, I need to become more like her. I need to work on my ability to sit with puzzles. Maybe that's true, but they still might prefer her. The key thing is not taking it personally, not being desperate to change who you are to try and fix all of this, because they'll still have a preference. But it will change over time and you'll come in a favour and out of favour. And just remember, they might say every day that they prefer the other parent, but this might be sitting in their heart somewhere. And every now and then they'll show you that.